2, go!
Hello listeners, welcome to a Family Gear tutorial of starting up the PMDG 737 NGX. Please note, do not use this procedure for real-world operations. This is a quick and dirty version of starting it up from cold and dark. Now, without further ado, allow us to go into the cockpit. Welcome into the cockpit. So as you can see here, the aircraft is completely powered down. There are absolutely no lights or switches on at the moment. First off on our checklist is to check that our parking brake is set or wheel chocks are in. Parking brake is set. Exits. Open as required. When we are on the outside, you can see we already opened the exits as required for the stairs and catering service. Gangway and stairs. We have stairs already available. They were attached outside here, and to our left we can see the stairs attached. Next off, we're going to have to turn on the battery. Close the cover of the battery switch. This will turn on the lights and the battery for you. Hydraulic pumps. Make sure they are all off. Fuel pumps. Make sure they are all off as well. Ground power. For ground power, head on over to your FMC. If it was off, you can press and hold the menu button until it turns on. Then go to FS Actions, Ground Connections, make sure wheel chocks are set, and connect ground power, air start unit, and air conditioning unit. You may hear some fans starting to turn on in the background. This is completely normal. Press menu to go back to the main screen here. Now that ground power is available, go to your overhead panel and find the ground power switch. Flick it on. You hear some functions of the aircraft turning on now. Ground power is supplying power to the aircraft. Emergency lights. Simply close the cover and you'll see the not armed light turn on. And as a quick interruption here, you can see our ground services has finished. The catering service. Let us close the doors. Include a message there. And I'll quickly request boarding. And then that'll happen in a few moments. Now continuing on. Position lights. Make sure they're on steady. Now that ground power is being supplied to the aircraft, these lights need to be on steady. Wing wheel lights. You can turn these on. And the wing lights as well. And the logo. Passenger signs. Turn them on to auto or on. It is up to your discretion on what they are at, as long as they are on. Recirculation fans. To your right here, turn them both on to auto. Turn your pack left and your pack right to auto as well. Autopilot. Make sure they are disengaged. Just to double check, you can flick the switch down and up again to make sure. You can clear master caution at the moment. Cockpit voice recorder. This green button here, hold it for 5 seconds until the green light to the right of it lights up, and then release. The test is complete. Next we need to test the engine fire. Down here is a small switch. Look it to the left first. The cool feature of PMDG is you can press and hold and move your mouse off, and then we'll hold it there for you. You can check the lights here, and check that this light here is lighted. Once that's done, just flick it back to the middle. Next we're going to hold it to the right. At this time, you would usually call to ground crew and say, "We're testing the fire." On the outside of the aircraft, a bell actually rings when you flick the switch to the right because there is a fire. Ground crew is required to spray retardant onto the fire immediately, even if there's no fire. So, make sure they know that this is a false call. Once that is done, look to the right. You should hear a bell ring. All three of these should light up. Your fire warning's on and master caution. You can put the fire warning and the master caution off and reset the switch. Engine fire is complete. Next we're going to do our IRS aligning. As you can see here, our screens are not working because IRSs are not aligned. Head onto the overhead panel and then go even farther back. First let's test the display. Push it really quickly to the left, and then it should automatically go back itself. Make sure all lights are working, and move it all the way to the right where it says HDD/G/STS. Once that is done, you're going to select both of these IRS selectors to align. They'll first say on DC, wait for a moment, and then they'll say align. Once that is done, go back to your CDU, or Center Display Unit, go to FMC. As you can see here, my nav data is out of date. Current cycle is 1502, but I haven't updated yet. You can just clear the message, go to Position Initiation, and as you can see here, it's asked to set IRS position. Go to the next page and copy either of the GPS's coordinates by selecting the key select. And then paste it into there. Once that is done, we're going to check really quickly to see if our IRSs are aligned yet. And as you can see there, the time near says 0. That means they're already aligned. For the purposes of this tutorial, it was set on instant. Once set number 0, select this to nav and nav. You see your displays are now aligned and everything should be in working order. At this point, we are going to enter in our route. In this tutorial, I will not be legitimately flying anywhere. However, later, with family gear, I will be producing a tutorial of route planning and entering the route into the FMC or CDU. Considering that we have entered in the route, let's start the APU, because we will be shortly disconnecting ground power. Go up to the top here and turn on the aft 1 fuel pump. Once that is on your APU switch, select it to on, and then start. Watch the exhaust gas temperature here of the APU. The APU will be started. In the meantime, let's check something else. Make sure the APU bleed switch is on, and the engine bleed switches are on as well. To our left here, we can see the exhaust gas temperature has risen. Wait for a moment. We can move to the top here and check how much power the APU is actually generating. We can select this switch to APU gen and look at the AC volts. Our APU has come alive and you can see it's providing about 115 volts. With that being done, we can click the APU gen switches on. Left one first and then the right one. Just as a safety check I like to do, you can switch the ground power to off to make sure no power is being supplied by the ground power unit. We'll go over to our first officer of FMC, plus actions, ground connections, and you can set everything off by simply doing wheel chocks, remove, and everything will be disabled. We'll leave the screen here for the moment. At this point, you would also set your fuel, payload in here.
Hello. Hi, morning.
Disable the master caution, just clear it out.
Hi, morning.
Set your transponder at the moment. We'll squawk 1200 at the moment. And we'll put it off to all the way to the right, TA/RA. And then do a quick test. You can see here it's initiating a TCAS test, and it'll notify us when it passes or fails.
TCAS test pass.
As you can hear, the TCAS test has passed. We are all good. Since we still have a while to go before passengers are done boarding, we can do a GPWS test, or ground proximity warning system test. There's a short test and a long test. We'll do the short test. To the right of the first officer CDU is a small button. Simply click it and you'll see it starts to initiate a TERR test.
Light slow. Pull up. Wind shear. Wind shear. Wind shear. Terrain. Terrain. Pull up.
We'll wait for everything to clear out. These are self-checks by the GPWS system. And there we go. The GPWS test is complete. Altimeter at this time will set it. For those of you who are too lazy, your B key will automatically set the altimeter. I have already set it correctly. Now, since we won't be flying anywhere, we'll go to ignition operation, init ref, index, foreman. For zero fuel weight, you can just click it and then enter it in. Reserves. For the purposes of this tutorial, I'll just enter in a random number. Cost index, let's say 28. And that's all good. I'm going to do that. Center of gravity, we're getting our trim here. Enter it in. Flaps, we'll do flaps 5 takeoff. We won't need our lead speeds. We only need our trim for the purposes of this tutorial. 6.08. So we'll move that little knob all the way to 6.08. That seems about right. A little less, maybe. And at this time, we'll turn on the hydraulic pumps here. Switch them all on. Next, we're going to turn the probe heat and the window heat on. These orange lights should get off and those green lights should go on. Turn on your yaw damper. And at this point, we'll turn on the anti-collision lights. Another important part to do is to set your altitude and your landing altitude. You will set this to your cruise altitude or your pressurization, say 4,000 feet, because they're going to not legitimately fly today. And landing altitude, the altitude of St. Martin Airport is around 50 feet, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. Now, all we have to do is to wait for our passengers to finish. We'll push our nose to the left. And I'll be back with you when our passengers are done boarding, because they're deciding to be really slow. So we're back, passengers are done. As you can see, our pushback vehicle has arrived. tow truck is in motion.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Roger that. Okay, so now we're ready for pushback. Let me first close the doors up. So we'll go to doors and close all these doors. And close our cargo doors as well. Previous page menu, FMC, and we'll just leave that there. We'll wait for our doors to close. We can also check up here. Affirmative, all these doors are closed. As you can see, our stairs have detached. Our marshal is there. He's going to guide us to our work.
Departure check completed. Live has been inserted. Release parking brakes.
At this point, he's going to ask us to release parking brakes. We'll turn on all fuel pumps. That's done. And then release your parking brake down here.
Release parking brakes. Commencing push. All engines clear. Start that wheel.
Alrighty, so we'll start our engines. This middle switch is really a dummy switch. You don't need to switch it to a specific position. We'll start with engine 2. Look it to ground. Another important thing is to turn off one recirculation fan because there will not be enough power. Start the engine. Watch your N2 here. Wait until it gets to 20%. Make sure your throttles are idle. It's taking a long time to start up. You should turn off the packs as well. 20% and 2. The engine should start firing up now. And check your switch up here. Wait until it clicks back to the off position. It will click automatically. There you go. We'll start this one. Look it into ground. Check the N2 here. $13, $14, $15, $16, $17, $18, $19, and 20% N2. We'll flick on the fuel switch to idle for engine 1. The engine will be firing up now. As you can see, our ground services has commenced a beautiful pushback. That's a very interesting position there. Wait for this switch to go. Okay, there you go. It's into off position. Wait for the engines to stabilize. We'll also check how much power each one is doing. So I'll go to generator 1, 115 volts. Generator 2, 115 volts. That's good.
Set parking brakes.
Alrighty, now we've got to set our parking brakes. So it goes on. Our engines can start providing us with the power, so switch on generator 1 first, and then generator 2. If you want, you can switch off the APU just to make sure. At this point, you can just flip the AP switch off. The exhaust gas temperature will slowly decrease, so the APU turns off. Take your engine start switches, put them both to continuous, so during takeoff, in case of a burst strike, the engine has a higher chance of still running.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass being removed.
Alrighty, there you go. So our truck is done, our pushback truck I mean is done. Wait for him to get out of the way first. And then wait until we get out of our lights way.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
Thank you to both sides. He's telling us that both sides are clear. He's saying goodbye, goodbye. Or I don't think that's a bye, to be honest. Alrighty, he says have a good trip. So now, we're not going to blind them quite yet. Wait until he gets on this truck. Hold on tight. Driving away. Swell. So now we'll turn on the taxi lights, and if you want, runway turn-off lights for better visibility. Oh. And now, at this point, you'd release your parking brakes, set your flaps. We have flaps 5. And you would start taxiing to the runway. So thank you guys today for taking your time to learn how to do a cold and dark startup the quick and dirty way with the PMDG 737 NGX. If you wish for this fan the gear livery, the link will be in the article or the description of the video if you're watching this on YouTube. This video has been a collaboration between Airbus AI 342 and Fan the Gear.